Okay, what's good, nerds? I didn't expect to be saying this so soon, but a brand new update just got dropped, and it's actually a decently large one, with a bunch of different balance changes, enemy reworks, and just quality of life features. So, you know, I'm aware that you're not going to be reading the patch notes because no one reads these days. So I'm gonna break it all down. I'm gonna break it all down for you. It's fine, don't worry, I got you. But the first thing that you may have already noticed is above my weapon icon, there's a speedometer now, which is cool, I guess. You know, you can see exactly how fast certain things take you. You know, you can see you can see the rocket riding. You know, 64 speed, but if I were to do, say, slam storage is faster than rocket riding. Well, who would have guessed? And would you believe corn nuking is faster than all of it? Wow, that's crazy. That's a pretty cool quality of life feature. I don't think it really gives you much use outside of quality of life. But what is a different feature is alternate shotgun has been changed. As you can see, it now looks... Why can't I swap to the blue one, huh? It now looks slightly different, depending on the variant you're using. The meter does, at least. And also, I think I saw it now has a timer on it. If you were to... I'm dumb, I need to... Bigger enemy. But I think I saw it now. If you get the maximum shot, yeah, the gauge now moves down while it's cooling down. So you're not just really guessing when... You're not just guessing when it's done. You can actually see. Which, you know, good change. I like the change. Good change. Another change with the jackhammer, before we move on to new things, is apparently you can change the direction of your launch. Oh my god. You can change which direction you get launched in mid-hit stop. So normally, you know, you'd hit the enemy and you'd go flying backwards. But now, with just, you know, a little bit of quick thinking, I'm going over here now. Which is... I'm sure that has some use for speedrunners. I'm sure this has some application somewhere for the speedrunning community. Oh, there's just a Maurice graveyard now. You know what, speaking of Maurice, this is a very interesting one. We go into the fire starter now. We're going to oil up Maurice. You can now shoot Maurice with rockets. You can damage him with rockets, which is probably just about the most cursed thing I've seen in this game. But yeah, that's a thing now. I also think this applies to soldiers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Basically, if it couldn't be damaged with a rocket before, it can get damaged with a rocket now. I wonder if Minotaur still reflects. If I shoot it... No, never mind. It's just those two. That's a bit weird. I wonder why it's just Maurice and soldiers. But anyway, finally people can stop complaining when I shoot Maurice with a rocket, because you know what? It's intentional now. And it works with all three rockets. It's not just Firestarter. Which is... It's interesting. I don't know why it was added, but it's definitely interesting. Sticking with the rocket launcher, apparently a bug was fixed where you can now start charging the SRS cannonball and fire a rocket at the same time, which is cool. Also, the SRS cannon shakes now, which is a thing, I guess. It's just a neat little animation change. Like, it's cool. I'm okay with it. I'm not complaining. Okay, well, apparently I'm stupid. I've missed out a couple of things without a shotgun, right? Number one is a very, very small change. But if you hit an idol with the maximum power shot, it doesn't have a cooldown. Which is, I mean, like, that's cool. So now you can freely hit idols with the jackhammer and never have to deal with a cooldown. But another more important change is with the cores. The cores now sort of have like coin trajectory, right? So if I'm moving backwards, oh, that's not. If I'm moving backwards, the coin will start. The core will start moving backwards. If I jump, it will go higher. If I just stand still, it will kind of just flop in the face and do nothing. But cores now do that. They have the same trajectory, like coding, as coins do. Which is, I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf. I don't use jackhammer enough. Jackhammer players, tell me if that's like a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. And also, just quickly before I forget, why are my weapons like on the weapon HUD? Why are they glowy? Is it just me? Or are they glowy when I swap to a new weapon? That's not just me. I'm not going crazy. They start out glowy when you swap to a new weapon, and then they get less glowy over time. That's a weird change. I mean, that cool. I guess it makes it easier to see when you've swapped a new weapon. I suppose. I don't really know. But that's there. That's there, I guess. Now, there's a very, very important change with the fire starter. Going back to the fire starter here. If we look at it in water, spray a good amount of water, you'll notice there's a lot less explosions. Like if we put on infinite weapons, you notice there's a lot less explosions going on, and that's because it got a massive nerf, like a huge nerf, where it doesn't spawn explosions on like every single piece of oil, and it will now only spawn explosions every so often. Now that would be fine, whatever. It's a big nerf. But if we were to say, put our little Gutterman, cover his feet in oil, right? Beforehand, this would send the Gutterman into the stratosphere. He would be gone. That way, it doesn't really do anything. If I put health bar, can I not put hello? There we go. That was weird. We put on a health bar. Put our oil around him again. Just lather it up. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot anymore. Like, that's not great. And that is because oil explosions underwater now only hit each enemy once. So what that means is like the P2 last room one shot doesn't work anymore. No matter how much oil you have underneath the enemies, they'll only be hit by one explosion. Which is an insane nerf, because this thing, I mean, you've seen me one-shot the entirety of the last P2 room with this thing, like, it was insane, it was crazy strong. And now it's, I can't lie, it's kind of just gone back to being a bit useless. Like, the only real use case the Firestarter had was being able to one-shot incredibly large amounts of enemies whenever there was a bit of water around. And it was a very niche use case. And now it just kind of isn't a use case anymore, which is, it's kind of sad. It also completely destroys Leviathan speedrunning like that. Rest in peace, Leviathan speedrunning. Ooh, that's yeah, that's gone out the water, hasn't it? Also, new fire spray. That actually looks really nice. High quality fire sprite. Oh yeah, and the fire also just doesn't disappear if you have no weapon cooldown on. Which is cool, I guess. I don't really know why that was needed, but that's cool. Nice change. Now for this next change, I need to go to 7-2. Well, I mean, I guess I could have gone to 2-4, but like, I like this level more, so I went to this level. What the change is it's to do with the jumpstart. Jumpstart got a few bug fixes to do with its conduction. It really, I'd never experienced the bugs, so I'm assuming they're pretty niche. The main the main rework that we've gotten is to do with trams, oddly enough, which is weird. But apparently, yeah, if you hit a tram with the jump start, it just goes like super speed. What the hell? Like, whoa, okay. But yeah, hitting a tram with a jump start now makes it go super speed and have instant acceleration. Why? I mean, like, it's funny. Like, away we go. I think the whole point was it was meant to get sped up for a short period of time. But I can just spam this because I'm not hitting an enemy. I don't know if that's an oversight or intent. It's probably an oversight. But like, it's quite funny. This is quite entertaining. I like this because I thought this would be like nowhere near as fast as this is, but this is really fast. I like this. A good change. This is a great change. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Hakita. Okay, we're back in the sandbox now. The jump start was really funny, but you know, couldn't be entertained by that for so long. We have more weapon changes. Ooh, that's how exciting! How exciting indeed. Where's the enemy? Ah, mind flare. I need a mind flare. Yeah, nice one. The screwdriver has a change, specifically with the mind flare interaction. Beforehand, if you were to kill the mind flare before the screwdriver, you know, timed out. Oh wow, I'm just terrible at the game. But previously, if you were to kill the mind flare before the screwdriver timed out, the screwdriver would just kind of like die. That was not a screwdriver. I'm stupid. But now it's been changed so that if, you know, you've got a mind flare and you kill the mind flare before the screwdriver times out, the screwdriver stays on the mind flare until the mind flare dies, which I guess could have some interesting interactions. God, I am just dumb. It's like, let's say the mind flare dies, and you punch it, it's just going to be trailing blood everywhere. I want to launch it like really far away to say like the perfect, like just so you can see it better. Look at it go, spreading blood everywhere. But I mean, yeah, it's just a weird small interaction change that was added. I mean, I don't know when it will ever like really be applied, but I personally use the screwdriver on mind flares a lot because it stops them from teleporting, so it could be an interesting use case potentially. Maybe it will save your life once, who knows. And most importantly, you can break magnets by slamming again, which means that finally on Leviathan you can put in a saw trap and then launch the magnets and have the saws fly over to Leviathan again, which is good change. Good change. I like good change. But that is the end of all of the weapon changes. Now we can move on to the enemy balance changes, starting with probably the biggest balance change, and that would be the Ferryman. The Ferryman, ever since Brutal, right, had a huge update where it summons lightning onto your location, right? Well, now the lightning has been nerfed. quite a lot. I get my health back. Right. And get hit by this lightning. It now only does 35 damage, where it used to do 50. That's a big nerf. Are you okay, dude? But you know, that's a really big nerf. Also, yeah, you can charge back lightning, which, you know, you were always able to charge back lightning. But now it doesn't hurt you. So if I, you know, charge back the lightning, or just die to the fucking ferryman, that would work. But if I, yeah, charge back the lightning, or fail to charge back the lightning, I guess, because I suck at the game, apparently. Just... it doesn't hurt me. Yeah, even though I'm standing right next to the ferryman, it doesn't hurt me. Which is probably a good change, I'd say. But it is still a very, very large nerf. Like a very big... 50 damage down to 35 is not insignificant. I don't really know whether the nerf was warranted. I mean, the only place this would ever be useful is, you know, let's say you're in Weezer Room, and you haven't killed the Serbs very quickly, so you've got, you know, 2 Serbs, and a ferryman fighting you. That's the kill button. But, you know, you've got ferryman, 2 Serbs, and... I don't know, a virtue or something. That's the only real place I can see this nerf actually, like, being warranted, because it could feel very oppressive. Other than that, kinda just sucks to be the ferryman, really. Like, I don't really think it was deserved outside of P2. But maybe people will disagree with me there. It's just my opinion. You're allowed to disagree. Just a small little change for the next one. Soldiers! If you specifically make them radiant, they are now slightly slower because a bug that applied their speed twice has been fixed. I mean, it'll be helpful for Cybergrind. Like, you know, it'll be helpful for Cybergrind, I guess. Just a small change, though. Another change... well, we need to make a wall for this. Another change is, let's say you have, you know, a gutter man or a gutter tank on the other side of a wall. You don't walk through the wall, please. Like, let's say you have him on the other... okay, he's just walking through the wall. Never mind. Get out of here. Walking through the wall like a bastard. But, you know, if you had a gutter man or a gutter tank on the other side of a wall, they can no longer hit you through the wall. Which is good change. Look, he can't hit me anymore. Good change. Good change. They can't hit you through walls anymore. Which is just a good thing. One kind of, you know, it's a good thing. Another weird thing is drones and virtues. If they're oiled and on fire, I mean, you can't see it with the drone because the drone just dies. But virtues don't bleed when they're on fire for some reason. I guess angels don't bleed? I don't know. After this, there have been some bug fixes with insurrectionists. You could now actually kill them while they're on fire. I didn't even know that was a bug, but apparently it was, and it's been fixed. So that's cool. Apparently, Agony and Tundra. Just imagine these Agony and Tundra. Apparently, they actually like take damage the intended way now, which again, you know. Good bug fix, good change, good change. Stalkers have probably got the world's weirdest buff. Just let it hit me, right? Come on. Okay, well apparently it just doesn't work, but they're meant to deal twice as much damage. But it just didn't. So, whoopsie doopsie. It has come to my attention that I am just stupid. They don't deal double damage, they take double damage. From ground slams. Which I assume is just to kill them in one shot if you ground slam them. I can assume that's what the reasoning behind that change is. You know, now if you ground slam them, they just die. Which I suppose they didn't before. I wouldn't know, I've never tried ground slamming a stalker before. So there's been another bug fix. The patch note says that Cerberus no longer, like, fall over when dashing in Brutal. I don't know what that means. Kinda looks normal to me. I don't really know what the change here is. Maybe like if it dies mid-slam? I don't really know. I don't understand what this buff is referring to. But okay. Whatever, I guess. And now we're on to probably the biggest, most consequential changes in this update, in my opinion. Prisons now take 50%. I don't know, I don't want to deal with you. If I put on a health bar, and I put on some saws, you can see it's taking not that much damage from the saws. And the same is true for the Panopticon. And that is because the prisons now correctly apply a 50% damage reduction to all saws. Which means that Flesh Prison is going to be very annoying to take care of. Very annoying indeed. That was weird. I'll go and demonstrate this in a P-2 where you can see the difference of how long Panopticon now takes to shoot down, kill, I don't know. Okay, so here we are, P2, you know, Panopticon. I'm going to do my normal thing of just putting a saw trap on the thing, and then just killing it normally. And I mean, you can already see like how little damage that saw trap's actually doing. Like, it's not doing much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm having to put in a lot more effort. The saw trap isn't carrying me nearly as much, which is, I mean, it's fair. It was broken, but it's just kind of sad. Yeah, come on, Sisyphus. Yeah. Whoa. And yeah, the same debuff also applies to the Flesh Prison, which means that boss is even more annoying to kill now, which is just great, just lovely, just whoop-de-doo. So that's most of the reworks, enemy changes done. There was a weird, interesting thing with the with this tech, which I think it now said you can perform it at more angles, which I mean, cool, I guess. You can do this now. You know, like, that's cool. Doesn't really affect me. I don't use it. So, but you know, if you're a fan of that tech, that's cool. You know, you can go flying now. That's great. And the rest of the patch is just a lot of like small bug fixes, like fixing fodder enemies from getting stuck in slow-mo like they would, which was a very weird bug, and making 6-1 doors open faster if you're moving fast. A lot of very small bug fixes. So the game should overall be a lot less janky. And of course, Size 2 Fish is now obviously catchable. You can go check that out for yourselves. I don't really need to show you that it's catchable, you know what I mean? But other than that, that is about it for this update. So, go play it.